Alright, we're going live in just a second here, Kirby.
Okay. So, we're live. Hey everyone.
Okay.
I think we should be live. Yeah. This is Fire Emblem Fates on the Nintendo 3DS, and is the 14th Fire Emblem entry in the series. Before I start, this game has 3 routes. This game's split into 3 different routes: Birthright, Conquest, and Revelation, and there was an ongoing bid war between which of the 3 routes I would speedrun. And to explain quickly the structure of the game, basically early on in the game you have to pick whether to pick one side, the Nor, the other country, Hoshido, or to remain neutral. And then the gameplay diverges from there. So currently the bid war seems to be winning. Revelation seems to be winning. So if we can have a quick last update on that, then we should be good to start. And unfortunately I have to know which route I'm taking before I start the run, because that determines the customization of the avatar that you can create in this game.
I am currently seeing no changes here. You're going Revelations.
I'm doing Revelations? Alright.
Let's go.
It's interesting that Revelations won, because it's the most notorious one for, to put it kindly, very questionable map design. So Revelation is the route where you remain neutral, and it leads to the quote-unquote true ending of the game. And was actually kind of released as an extra route after the original game came out. So technically I start time on difficulty, but for now I'm going to have a little bit of quick fun and explanation of the avatar before starting the actual run for marathon purposes, because I think this is really important for the sake of the run. So I'm playing this on normal difficulty because it's fastest, and classic mode because that's how Fire Emblem speedrunners traditionally are. So this game has a customizable avatar, which you can customize his or her stats and other fun things like their gender, their height, accessories, etc. So for the Revelation speedrun, the gender actually does not matter, so I'm going to go with short female because that is the best avatar, and I'm going to pick the default hairstyle because I like that hair, pick a black butterfly and purple because I like the color purple a lot. I want to hear chat say, which color do you want this avatar's hair to be? Let's hear chat say something about it. Well, meanwhile, while waiting for chat a bit, I'm gonna be setting up some stats. There are 3 things that actually affect the run that you need to set: the boon, the bane, and the talent. The boon is your strong stat, which affects your base and your growth rate for that stat. The bane is the opposite; it's your weaker stat, and your talent is your extra class, which is what you can reclass into. I'm seeing
a decent amount of purple.
lots of purple, some red.
Some
Mostly,
green.
I see a green and a blue and a teal. A lot of purple. All right, I'm sticking with purple then. All right, I like this chat. All right, let's go with evil eyes, evil Corrin, and then let's put a band-aid on her nose. Just be silly. All right. And then obviously we're gonna name this. I'm gonna go ahead and name this.
All this was very important to the speedrun, I'm sure.
Yes, Cal Fire. Okay. So this is the actually important part. So I'm going to set the talent to Ninja, the Bane to Dull, and the Boon to Strong. Strong Boon means Corrin has very high physical attack power, and she'll have a growth rate of roughly 60-ish%. The Bane is Dull, meaning she's going to be very stupid, so she's going to have very bad magic and bad resistance. But I'm using a physical build, so I don't care about that. And the talent is going to be Ninja, so early on in the run I'll be able to reclass her from the default class into a Ninja, and I'll explain why I'm going to be using a Ninja class later on as we get to know this game a bit more. So I think we're ready. Are we ready with the timer? Or do we already start the timer? All right.
No, we have not started the timer, so just give us a countdown.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so the first around 6 chapters plus the prologue are kind of an introduction where there's no route split beforehand during that segment. This is kind of just a tutorial. Fire Emblem is a strategy RPG game, a tactical RPG game where you can kind of move around your characters, attack, and so on. Every chapter has its own objective. Most objectives involve either defeating every enemy on the map or defeating the boss. In this case, this is a tutorial, so there's no real objective here, so it doesn't really matter what you do. And you can just, you're supposed to attack the units as a tutorial, but you can just wait and that saves time. So here's the actual game kind of begins, even though it's still kind of a tutorial. So right here, what I'm going to do immediately is set up some options to go fast. So turning off animations, and the main thing that the DS and 3DS Fire Emblems introduced is skipping enemy phase. So the enemy's turn is completely skipped every time, so turn count itself is not particularly important in the speedrun for this game. I mean, it's important, you want lower turn counts, but if an extra turn doesn't cost much time, so a lot of times you're better off just wasting turns in some cases. So every time you level up, every stat has a chance to gain a point, and the chance of gaining a point there is the character's growth rate in that stat. Honestly, every stat besides magic is kind of important, but the most important stats is speed by far. You want as much speed as possible, and Corrin's speed is unfortunately not, it's like around 40% right now. So if I get an early 2 points of speed, that will save a lot of time early on, but if not, then I'm gonna have a bit of trouble in the early game. So here we just got Gunter. He's kind of what people like to call the Jaken of the game. He's a high level unit at a higher tier class. He's very powerful, but he has terrible growth rates. And he's going to be helping out early on. He's actually going to be pretty important through the majority of the Revelation run. Alright, strength, skill, speed, that's good. This chapter is another tutorial chapter. The game tells you that you want to open up a pawn in the middle that heals you HP every turn, but you're actually better off not opening that up. So these levels have been pretty decent so far. I think I got speed both times. And no, there is no RNG manipulation in this game. Known RNG manipulation.
Yeah, you got speed at first of all.
Alright, so this is the Seize chapter. So a Seize chapter means you have to get a character to the Seize point, good level, and then use the Seize command. In this game, unlike most other Fire Emblem games, the character that seizes the point does not have to be the main lord. Although in most cases in the speedrun, it's going to be the main lord anyways. This is also the first time I'm going to be using a mechanic called a Dragon Vein. Dragon Veins are a mechanic only in this game so far, where a noble unit, like your main lord, can activate a Dragon Vein, and they have various effects on the map. In this game, using a Dragon Vein unlocks a bridge that you can cross. So the boss on this throne is really annoying because he's really dodgy. Ah, speed and defense, okay. So like my hit rate's only around 70-ish%. But thankfully I killed him on an enemy phase. So this is kind of a safety measure. I don't need to kill these two Sky Knights in the map, but I'm gonna kill them early on for an extra level early on, which is gonna help out a lot with early game consistency. Alright, so this score is looking pretty decent. I think she's kind of lacking in strength, which is ironic because she has like a 60-65% strength growth, which is pretty high. Path of Radiance can be RNG manipulated. Path of Radiance and Rainy Dawn can be RNG manipulated. Shadow Dragon can as well. New Mystery Emblem cannot. FYI.
Take it from this guy. He's played all of them to the point of there's nothing left of this guy, right?
Alright, so we just got two different characters on Hoshido, which is the other country, actually the opposing country. The only really important one is Kaze. He's very fast and he's pairing up with Corrin. And pairing up is a mechanic in this game where you can pair up a unit with another unit, and the lead unit gets a stat bonus. It also means that when you're paired up, you defend against attack stances. And attack stance is a mechanic where if an unpaired unit attacks a unit while adjacent to an allied unit, then two units attack you at the same time. But being paired up prevents that. But really, so like pairing up is mostly supposed to be used as a defensive mechanic, but depending on who you pair with, the stat boosts you get can just make your lead character OP and kind of lead to a snowballing effect. Alright, so this game also has a mechanic called auto battling. So I set the option to auto battle to blitz, and so now what happens is every time I select auto battle, the AI will move the rest of my units for me off screen to just go all out and attack. And I'm going to use that somewhat frequently throughout the run because having the AI move units for me is a lot faster than me doing it manually. And now, in terms of story, Korin just found out that she is the birth daughter of Hoshido, sort of. And then, but now her mom just died because Nor, the other country, kind of just killed her mom and tried to kill her. Good family. So this is a route chapter, so I have to defeat every unit on the map. I have to be a little bit cautious here because magic units can do a lot of damage to Korin as in her dragon form. And there's also a few enemy units with a Worm Slayer, which is a sword that's effective on Korin. Wow, Kaze, what a level. There's a chance that I can die in this chapter. Primarily from the boss, because there's at the bottom of the map, yeah, right there. I was about to show that off right here. Ryoma, the prince of Hoshido, is fighting this guy, and Ryoma just got owned, which actually is kind of not a good thing, because Ryoma ideally wants to cut down that boss's health down to like half, but I can't actually finish off the boss in one hit, so I have to take a safety strat here and hope I don't miss. Thank you. Good level. Okay. Yeah, we'll have time for donations after the next chapter. So give me a second. This is the last chapter before the route split. So this is at the start of this chapter is when you decide whether to side with Hoshido or Nor or to remain neutral. And as this is the Revelation speedrun, I'm going to remain neutral. And when you remain neutral, the princes of both sides will be like, "You hate us! We're just going to kill you!" So now the goal of this chapter is to defeat the commander of both sides within the turn limits. Thankfully, they're not that difficult because the commander is this wyvern here who attacks you pretty quickly, and the other commander is this guy here. So I'm gonna put Korin in range of the wyvern rider. The wyvern rider will die off screen. Move Korin up to this bridge because this guy here is now in range of her, and she should kill him on enemy phase. And that's the chapter done. All right, so. One last thing to mention, after the route split is when you have access to a feature called My Castle. This is kind of your hub for the game, where you return to this hub before the start of every chapter, and you can do stuff like make buildings, go shopping, get resources, build supports, etc, etc. The first thing I'm going to do is build a rod shop, which allows you to buy like consumable items, or promotion items, or reclassing items and such. I'm not going to use anything from it yet, but I will in the next chapter. And this next chapter is a bit of a slog chapter. We have a unit called Azura. She's a singer and lets you move again, but I actually kind of not want to use her too much because I don't want her to level up, because leveling up costs time. This chapter's gimmick is also that there are these invisible paths in every room here, and one of them, usually if you take the wrong path, you'll just be warped back to the start of the room, which is kind of annoying. It's kind of very questionable level design. So the rest of this chapter is basically just having Korin snowball into killing everything, leveling up more, and becoming more OP and taking the right path. So this is a good time for a minute or two of donations, or talking about the marathon itself and what we're supporting.
Alright, I did get a nice donation.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, we got $23.45 from Michael K. saying, "Hello, reader. Hope you got a good day of watching great speedruns. I definitely have. Thank you very much." And with that donation, he put it towards the Mega Man Bid War. And this is between Mega Man Glitches and Mega Man 2 Normal Zipless. What the winner of this bid war will be the game played. But currently, Mega Man 2 Normal Zipless is in the lead by $23. And something of a personal challenge I want to throw out there for everybody. I would love to see us reach that $4,000 mark before the end of this run. It would make it that much more special, don't you think, Kirby?
Yeah, let's do it. Get it pushed through. What I just got from the chest there was Azura is the rescue staff. That's going to be used in late game. The rescue staff is a staff that warps a distant unit up to the staff user. Just keep that in mind. I'm going to use it in a bit. Not in a bit, but late in the run. We're still going through. So we just got Gunter back because he was supposed to have died a few chapters ago. And Gunter is going to be one of the most important units in the run. Because he has a skill called Forceful Partner. And what that does is if he's paired with the main character, then he gives the main character a +3 attack. He gives Korin. How do I word this? Korin deals +3 damage, extra damage, whether physical or magical, and also has plus 15 accuracy. And that's pretty massive. So Gunter's going to be the main pair-up bot for Corrin for the majority of the run. And this is also why the gender of Corrin doesn't matter for this run, because you cannot support Gunter in Revelation. Whereas in the Conquest and the, what is it? In the Conquest speedrun, you marry Corrin with Jacob, so Corrin has to be female. And in the Birthright speedrun, you marry Corrin with Felicia, so Corrin has to be male for that route to work. Wait, oops. I kind of lost track of what I'm doing. Alright, so I'm going to do a quick shopping trip, sell a few things. I should just sell this too. Grab a quick shuriken. I didn't sell enough stuff, so I need to sell something else here. I'll sell this. My money riding already kind of went out the drain, so oops. Oh well. That should be everything I need. A few tonics. Alright. So tonics. Tonics are a nice, really convenient item where when you use a, like, say a strength tonic on a character, that character gets a boost to their strength for just that chapter. And tonics are very nice to help with reliability for certain chapters. Alright, so this is where my Corrin's talent comes into play. Since my Corrin's talent is ninja, I can use an item called a heart seal to reclass her into a ninja. The ninja class is very nice, because ninjas are very fast and accurate, and they have really nice boss slaying skills causing debuffs. And they also have 1 to 2 range combat. And having 1 to 2 range combat is very important, because that allows you to counter both 1 range weapons like swords, axes, and lances, and also counterattack ranged weapons like magic and bows. So this Corrin is actually pretty solid. This Corrin needs to have, I think this Corrin's like 2 speed above the threshold she needs to double everything in this map, so that's very nice. Otherwise, this map takes a lot longer if she doesn't have enough speed. And the audio setup is really awkward because I need to use a headset for the audio because my gameplay actually kind of is affected by how I listen to the audio through my headset. And if I use anything else, my gameplay gets really thrown off. That's a good level. But this is a defeat boss chapter, and yeah, Corrin's kind of almost dead right there. Good level. And we just got one of the Royal Sakura, we're not gonna use her. Alright, so we're gonna make another building called a staff store, and we're gonna buy another heart seal from this. And the rod shop and the staff store, before they get upgraded, you can only buy 1 heart seal each, which is why I need to build a second shop for that. Alright, so the second heart seal I got is for Gunter. As I mentioned, Gunter is going to be a really useful unit through most of the run, and the reason is he can reclass into a Wyvern Lord, which mobility, if you've seen Fire Emblem speedruns before, mobility is very important. And the Wyvern Glide is really solid, and it gives very nice strength and defense buffs to Corrin, and also +1 move to her. So, yeah. So yeah, goal of this chapter is to defeat the boss who's up here. The gimmick is that these winds you see here, at the end of the turn, they will blow your units 5 tiles in the corresponding direction. So I'm gonna, and as you can see, flight is very valuable in this chapter. So I'm gonna put Gunter in this wind here, and it'll blow him up by 5 tiles, and now I'm already at the boss. But I'm gonna kill the healer first, because if I damage the boss immediately, then the healer's gonna go ahead and heal him and waste a lot of time. Unfortunately, the boss doesn't attack you directly when he's low on health, so you have to spend 2 player faces to defeat him. It's speed. Corrin's doing pretty good on speed, so she's actually kind of lacking on strength, which is a bit of an issue. So that's a bit of a concerning point for now. We'll see how it turns out. Alright, so this chapter, if you played this game before, this chapter is a chapter. So, gimmick. You have to go all the way up here and defeat this guy, and you have to slowly trudge your way through the snow. 1 by 1. And just about every enemy on this map drops something. A good chunk of them drop stat boosters, which is very nice. So I'm actually going to make a bit of a detour to grab a few extra stat boosters for consistency's sake. But yeah, this chapter is kind of a slogfest, so it sounds like we do have a few extra donations, so this is a good time to read them.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to speak up and so everybody can try and hear me nice and clearly as possible. We have $20 from Vinny Letty saying thanks to Kirbymastah. He put that money towards the Mega Man incentive bid war. Currently, Mega Man 2 is in a commanding lead at $50. But hey, we still got a lot of time before that Mega Man bid war closes.
Nice. Alright, one thing to note is that we just got an Iron Shuriken, which is the upgrade to the Brass Shuriken, and we can now use it because our weapon rank just went up. And weapon rank is a kind of an important stat to keep note of because it determines what weapons you can use, and also gives you minor buffs. In the case of hidden weapons like Shuriken, every weapon rank you gain is +1 extra might, I believe. So that helps a lot. Also, the Iron Shuriken is just stronger than the Brass Shuriken, and the Brass Shuriken cannot activate any skills nor land any crits. So this boss actually does a lot of damage to... Actually... You know, I have a guard gauge up, so I can just kill him. Without risk. Okay. So the guard gauge, I haven't mentioned the guard gauge, but like there's kind of a small blue meter below the character's HP bar. That blue meter goes up by 2 points every time that your character attacks or is attacked. And so when that meter is maxed, then that negates all damage to your unit just for that one attack. And since my guard gauge was maxed out, I can safely attack that boss without getting hit. And he does a lot of damage to you because my resistance is really bad. Alright, so this is a good time to promote into a Master Ninja. So promotion is kind of like Pokemon evolution, where you reclass into a higher tier, gain extra stat boosts, but your actual level goes down to 1. The main important thing is that the Master Ninja can use swords, meaning I can use the legendary weapon Yatso. Very important for endgame. And I also get a lot of stat boosts and +1 move. That should be right. Yeah, okay. Talking while doing this menuing is difficult because the menuings here go way faster when I'm really focusing, but oh well. So this map is a route chapter. I have to defeat all these enemies on the map. And the annoying thing is that most of these enemies are ninjas, just like our main character. And ninjas cause debuffs. And they're 1-2 range, and they're also very dodgy and fast. So that can be really annoying. So Corrin and Gunter are gonna go ahead and clean up the right half of the map. I'm gonna use 2 other sets of units to help out. First of all, I'm gonna recruit these units who aren't really gonna do much for now. We have Takumi here. He's an archer. Archers can't counterattack at 1 range, but he has a really powerful bow, and he's actually pretty strong. So you can actually just one-shot most of the units on this map. And by carefully positioning him near the other 2 range units, he can counterattack everything on enemy phase. So he just killed like 5 ninjas right there. So talk about an archer actually having a productive enemy phase. Tsubaki here is a flyer. He's paired up with Rinka, who gives him a nice strength defense buff, so he can actually deal decent damage without dying instantly. His role is basically to pick off a few trouble units that are kind of out of the way. Takumi here takes out that ninja, barely range of this mage, so he counterattacks him. I'm going to auto battle. Tsubaki finishes off an enemy next to him, and then Reina, who is a pre-promoted flyer, flies to the bottom right corner to take out another sword fighter. Yeah, so this is Reina here. She's really useful because she's the first natural pre-promoted flyer in the game. So she's gonna be very useful for the next few chapters. And she also has very good very nice offensive stats. You can't beat the game without using a legendary sword. So, and the legendary sword does give you stat boosts, even if it's in your convoy without being able to use it. Okay, so that's that chapter. I recommend this chapter is a complete slogfest. It takes freaking forever. It takes forever. This is probably the longest chapter in Revelation, not gonna lie. Wow, that was a long chapter. Yeah, that chapter is really annoying casually because the map design is laid out so that there are like 5 boats far apart, and that you can only deploy like 2 or 3 units on each boat, and it's really annoying to try to converge them. But thankfully, since it's a defeat boss chapter, you can just snipe the boss like that and not care. Alright, so this is another defeat boss chapter. Boss is up here. The gimmick is that there is a bunch of rocks in the way that you can have characters pick up and drop them to unlock air paths and or block paths. But I kind of have a flyer, and I'm just going to go ahead and cheese this. Corrin also just hit weapon rank C, which is important, because 1, she does more damage, and 2, she can now use the steel shuriken. She's actually 1 strength short of what she should be at this point. Okay, there we go, that fixed it. At this point, my Corrin speed is pretty decent. She really wants as much defense as possible, because bulk is a huge issue in the late game. So you really want as much defense as possible, but like, and HP too. HP is actually kind of important in the run because character growth rates, HP growth rates in Fates tend to be a lot lower than in most Fire Emblem games. So like, if you're unlucky with your HP set, it actually really hurts. So, okay, how did I do this again? Boom. So this is a route chapter, kind of a really cool and interesting one, because it's a really big map, but you have to use a huge variety of units to take out all these units quickly. So I just got two new units, Kadin and Kiton. They're both units that can only attack at 1 range, but they're both strong and fast enough to 1 round basically everything here in the left side. So they're pretty much some of my best offensive units right now. I'm gonna use some flyers to help ferry them across quickly. Reyna is going to also help out pick off some units. And now everything just dies. Well, skill defense resistance, it's more bulk. The nice thing about Gunter is that Gunter does get level ups by being paired with Corrin. But his growth rates are so bad he doesn't get that many stats. And that's a good thing, because the more stats you gain on a unit where stats don't matter, the more time you lose. So having a Parabot that doesn't gain that many stats is actually saves a bit of time on average. Yeah, we also caught Camila. She's basically a Reyna, but a lot better, and also a Royal. She uses axes. She's kind of amazing and very bulky too. Reyna's not that bulky, but Reyna's still good. So Camila has to kill this archer here, and I'm using a really weak weapon, but I need the extra accuracy to one-shot him, because if I miss him, then that's GG. Camila just dies. Kadin also has a skill called Beast Bane, which is how he was able to kill that paladin so quickly. Beast Bane lets you do effective damage to beasts, and what effective damage is in this game, which will become relevant in endgame, is your weapons might become tripled if it's effective against something. So like, if I'm using a weapon that's effective against, say, oh whoops, I meant to heal, but whatever. If I use a Beast Killer, which is effective on horse units, then the Beast Killer will have triple might. I think it has 9 might in this game, so it has 27 might against Pegasus Knights and Beasts. And no, we're killing off Benny and Charlotte, unfortunately, because there's no reason to recruit them in the speedrun. I got unlucky there. It's Reyna, kills you. And then there's one, I can auto battle this and that's GG. There we go. Okay. Chapter 15. This is the Sevenfold Sanctuary. This is a chapter that was copy-pasta'd in literally all 3 routes. With the similar gimmick, which is the stairs.
You gotta cut some corners somewhere when you're making something.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame them for using some map design. All right, so this is a Cease chapter, right? Yeah, it's a Cease chapter. Okay, I kind of forget sometimes because this map, you play it in like all 3 routes. Okay, so I'm gonna take the right stairs, right side of stairs. You can take the left path as well, and then unlike Birthright, this is not a route chapter, thankfully. So I don't need to like go all out of my way just kill everything. Oh yeah, so we just got Shura. He's a really useful unit because he has really good base stats, although that's not relevant for the speedrun. And he can use staves, he has high movement, he can use bows, and he can unlock stuff. Now we also got this other unit named Nyx. She joins you at this level with these stats at this point in the game. Welcome to Revelation, where unit balance doesn't exist. Alright. So yeah, now I'm just gonna kind of keep climbing through, killing everything in the way. Corrin can have issues with survivability in this chapter. I'm prioritizing using the Iron Shuriken because the downside to the Steel Shuriken is that compared to the Iron Shuriken, you lose 3 speed when you have it equipped, and that decreases your avoid. Well, if I'm not gonna get 2 stats, at least it's durability. I'm gonna use the extra concoction. That concoction, I really do not want to use that concoction at this point, but I guess I'll just buy an extra one later. It's marathon safety, I guess. Everything should just die here. Besides the general. Strength. Yeah, there we go. It's a good level. Alright, so chapter 16 and 17 is kind of one of the climaxes of the game where you're trying to convince everyone, including the princes of the 2 countries, to join you and tell them that there is a secret force that you have to fight against. But I can't talk about it unless I'm like in Vala, the 3rd country, because yeah. So reasons, yeah. I'm getting some equipment. I'm getting the Steel Shuriken. It's a Shuriken that is effective on armored units, which includes generals, knights, and great knights. Very useful because Corrin has to kill a lot of generals through the rest of the run. Alright, so this map is sort of interesting, but also kind of dumb at the same time. Basically, the gimmick of this map is that there are all these firewalls that block your path. And then you can what's it called? Alternate whether they're raised or not, using the dragon veins. But whether they go up or down is random, actually, because map design. So that's relevant in the next turn, because I want this wall to be down. Otherwise, there's going to be some units that block me, because they can't cross this. Because what is map design? Making it random. So I'm going to have to do a backup strat here to lower that with one of the new royals I just got, Hinoka. Otherwise, I lose actually 2 turns from that. So we also just got Ryoma. He's gonna be the other anchor of the run. He's gonna be really powerful. He has ridiculous offensive stats. He's very fast. He's pretty powerful, primarily because of his... Oh, I'm 1 short. Raijinto, which is a very powerful sword that can attack at 1 to 2 range. He kind of lacks in bulk, but he has very high avoid. And he's pretty much... He's pretty easily our best offensive unit for the rest of the game after Corrin herself. So I kind of want to train him up in the long run. And I want him to hit level 15 because at level 15 he learns a useful skill called Swordfare, which boosts his damage output with swords by +5, which is a huge buff. Also, you can't save between these 2 chapters because reasons. Oh, I made a mistake here.
Yeah, that's the standard stat level.
I was supposed to pair Corrin with Gunter, not Gunter with Corrin. Oh well, I might have to improv here a little bit. We also got Scarlet. We're going to use her just for this chapter because, reasons. Okay, so this is where the Sting Shuriken comes in handy. I can just slaughter all these knights with it. And I'm going to kill all these units so they don't bother these scrubs that just joined us here. Okay, they're not scrubs. They're the other royals of Nor, Xander and Leo. They're both decent units, so they're not going to be used. Leo's not going to be used much for the run. Xander's not going to be used much for actual combat either. Good level. So with Ryoma's level ups, you want to look for as much strength and skill as possible. Speed is kind of a given, obviously, but his speed grows very high that you don't really have to worry about it. But you actually want a lot of strength and skill, because you actually kind of rely on his activation rates to get crits or skill activations for the last boss. Oh wow, this Corrin is not doing too hot. 7 damage. Kill you. This is, you have 20... I'll just heal. I think I can safely attack, but I haven't saved. So I'm just gonna chug an elixir. Like, it should be safe, because if I kill the general, then I should be safe with the dual guard gauge maxed out on Iago, the boss. And this guy shouldn't really do any damage, but I'll just play it safe. Well, skill speed. And yeah, we just got a bunch of scrubs up here. They're kind of really under level too. Alright, so now we are entering Vala, the third quote-quote country that where pretty much no one lives in. Sort of. Alright, so this is probably, this upcoming chapter is actually one of my favorite chapters to speedrun in all 3 routes of Fates. Like, it's really cool to speedrun, and there's such a huge, so many things going on, and such a huge variety of units. And this is actually one of the maps in Revelation that I legitimately like a lot. So basically, I'm going to do a bit of prep here first. Shuro is going to take the rescue staff that we got really early in the run. Hopefully I did that correctly. Alright, so in this map, below this statue here is a warp point. That warp point goes all the way up to here with the boss, and this is a defeat boss chapter. The only way to break this rock is to activate all 8 dragon veins all across the map. And dragon veins can only be activated by royals, which is why I have so many royals deployed. So Corrin's role is to kind of kill everything in the middle and open up space for other royals to activate dragon veins. I'm going to be using Leo here to attack this guy. He's paired up with Takumi, an archer, which is funny because Takumi gives Leo a lot of skill, which gives him better hit rates. And his hit rate on that enemy in the upper left corner can be iffy. Ryoma is actually going to be doing the majority of the offensive work after Corrin, as usual. Reina's going to give a lance to Xander. Xander has his own personal weapon, which is the Siege Freed. It's a 1 to 2 range weapon that's actually pretty good, but it's actually really inaccurate against this ninja because of weapon triangle. So I'm going to use a lance instead for plus 10 extra hit. And I can lose a lot of time to Xander because Xander can just repeatedly miss that ninja over and over and over and over again. It sucks. Right, that's Sing Shuriken. Okay, so Xander missed, so hopefully he doesn't miss. He didn't miss, good job. Leo killed a guy here, so this is the first Dragon Vein. Hinoka, another royal, is going to activate this Dragon Vein here. Camila is going to activate this Dragon Vein here, so that's number 3. And I'm going to use the rescue staff to warp Ryoma all the way down this way. These portals are one way, by the way. Oh, shoot. I meant to refresh him with Azura, so... okay, well, I'll improvise. I'll improvise. Defense and strength is good. Kill the stuff on the left island here. Ryoma needs to kill this guy, so I'm gonna lose a turn with Ryoma, but I think that's fine. I have like a 1-turn buffer. Dragon Vein. You're done. You fly here. You fly here. Good. Dragon Vein. I'm gonna wait on that Dragon Vein with Camila until the last turn. Oh, that's annoying. The general didn't attack an enemy phase. I forgot about that. So there's 1 Dragon Vein left. Wait out 1 turn so I can move Corrin here. This chapter didn't go as I planned, but oh well. It happens. That should be the last one. Refresh. And now, chapter done. This Corrin's starting to fall behind a bit on speed. She really should be at around 30 speed at this point, but oh well. Work around that. The worst case scenario, if my Corrin kind of sucks, is there's a kind of a DLC-ish item you can use called a Dragon Herb, where you can get 2 for free if you have all 3 routes, and a Dragon Herb boosts all your stats by +1, so I have 2 of them. I prefer not to use it because that kind of makes the run not really legitimate in terms of non-DLC content, but I will use it in a marathon setting if I have to. And even that's not enough to salvage a bad Corrin, then I have backup saves. Oh my, why do I keep doing that? I'm supposed to go the other way. I'm supposed to fly Corn over to the right instead of pairing Gunter on Corn. Oh well, we'll just take the turn loss. Not a big deal. Strength. Okay. Skill is surprisingly an important stat in Fire Emblem speedruns as a whole, even if manipulated, because skill, not only you really want a reliable hit rates as much as possible, and in some cases you also need to get like certain critical hits. In this game's case, you save a lot of time if you get certain key crits and or skill activations. So you want as much skill as possible. I believe the skill cap for Master Ninja Corrin is 38. 30 is actually kind of low at this point. She should be around 32, 33. But it's not too big of a deal. I'm gonna safety save here because this is a chapter where Corrin can easily die if her defenses are kind of and they're decent, but she can still die. So only $16 away from 4K. Okay. Dang. So again, I'm using an Iron Shuriken here for the extra avoid because Corrin needs to dodge as much as possible on this enemy phase, which she hasn't got to hit, so that's nice. Strength, speed, ooh, that is a sick level. Nice. So the boss is in the upper left corner. This is a defeat boss chapter, so what I'm doing is I'm just gonna fly Corrin over like this. And then use the Sting Shuriken, because there's going to be like 5 generals that attack her at once. And this is kind of a scary turn here, because Corrin can take a buttload of damage from the generals, but thankfully, she's fine. Strength, speed, resistance, alright. Oh yeah, we hit level 15, so we just learned Shuriken Fair, which boosts your damage with Shuriken by +5 permanently. Obviously that is a huge deal, because it's basically +5 strength for free. Alright, so chapter 21. This is where we start seeing some bromance. For lack of a better word. So I'm going to be pairing Ryoma with Xander a lot, because Xander gives Ryoma some nice strength and defense buffs, which is kind of Ryoma's weakness. And Xander also gives Ryoma +1 move, which is really nice. Okay, so what do I need? I just want healing items. Did I not buy an elixir? Oh, I already used the elixir, crap. I'm gonna have to grab an extra healing item in your end game then. Alright, take that vulnerary just for safety. And then that should be it. So this chapter kind of has an interesting little gimmick where basically there are blue and red panels. Enemies on the red panels are second tier. But if they enter the blue panels, they become first tier units, and they become very weak. It generally doesn't matter, because you kind of just kill everything anyways in the speedrun. So, yeah. So I'd kind of watch Corrin's health carefully and heal up appropriately, because I actually don't used up all of my healing items at this point, the bigger healing items. And Corrin can easily die in this chapter if I'm not careful. Nice level. But yeah, if we have any donations, this would be a good time for a few.
Yeah, so I do have a donation.
Cool.
I just got another on top of that. So we have $50 from DJ Conker saying Mega Man 2 is the best Mega Man. How much do I need to donate for glitches? Currently we do not have an incentive for any glitches related to any of the Mega Man monsters, but thank you very much for that donation. We also have $15.64 from Michael K _, which is exactly put us at $4,000 and 0 change.
$4,000, GG.
4K streams. So
and the goal was 3,000, wasn't it?
Yes, that was our original goal. Our secondary goal for this marathon is set at 5,000. We still got several hours of great marathon content for people to enjoy, so hopefully we can reach that 5K.
Enjoy this romance, by the way. Alright, I might need to grab an extra healing item. Oh, that's a little awkward. Corrin should be fine. I'm gonna save just in case. Well, I've been saving pretty much every chapter because you never know. The non-manipulator run. You never know what might happen. So, there are a lot of dragon veins on this map, and they're used to make forest fires, basically, and make paths. I'm not really going to use many of them, because again, I'm just going to fly skip this chapter. Ooh, that's a terrible level. With Corrin and Gunter. I'm just going to use this dragon vein here, and I'm already on the right side of the map, which is where the boss and the seize point is. Ryoma's just kind of killing stuff here, because I'm trying to grind him up a bit to make him more powerful. There's a strength, skill, speed. Luck is also good, because that helps his hit rates a bit. Because, surprise, Ryoma's hit rates are actually not very good on the last boss. Interestingly. Alright, give me a good one. Strength. Strength cap! That is strength cap. Also luck cap. Yeah, so like I didn't think about this beforehand, but I really should have just routed that chapter to not use any of the dragon veins, because the purpose of this marathon is given the context of what we're supporting in this marathon. But I guess getting away with only one is okay for this chapter. I should have thought that through a bit more carefully to support the charity a bit more, but oh well.
Don't worry too much.
I was also supposed to do something in the base here. Oops. Alright, so I'm gonna do a quick upgrade here. And sell a lot of stuff. A lot. Oops. I'm selling a bit more than usual for safety, so I can buy an extra stat booster. But in a more serious speedrun, I wouldn't. I'm looking for 25,000 gold. There we go. Just enough. And then... what was I supposed to do? Okay, yeah. 3 concoctions, all elixirs, 7 HP tonics, 7 strength tonics, 5 skill tonics, 7 speed tonics, 7 defense tonics, 7 resistance tonics, an arm scroll, and then I'll get a seraph robe. Seraph robe is for safety.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
All these bugs. The arm scroll is very nice because it improves. In this game, an arm scroll improves all of your weapon ranks by 1, not just 1 weapon rank. So in this case, I'm also going to improve Corrin's sword rank, which lets her sword weapon. Which when she equips a sword, she does +1 damage with it. Stat boosters, all tonics. Safety save. Alright, so I'm using Camilla instead of Gunter for this chapter because whoever the flyer is for this chapter actually needs to survive 2 rounds of combat, and Gunter's stats are kind of not up to snuff at this point. He dies to anything. Camilla, thankfully, is very bulky, and her stats still hold up at this point in the game, which is how amazing she is as a unit. So, she can survive this chapter fine. So right here, she's going to take on a Kinshin Knight. Actually, is that a Kinshin Knight? That's a Falcon Knight. I'm wrong. Ignore me! Ah! And then, snipe the boss. This is a seize chapter, so I have to take an extra turn to seize. I'm using the Iron Shuriken for extra accuracy because sometimes there's a sniper that attacks me from the throne, and if I miss him, then I lose another turn, which sucks. And bows have weapon triangle advantage against Shuriken, so yeah. Her hit rates can be kind of iffy on that sniper. We have a few chapters left. This chapter is, if you played Path of Radiance, there is a stealth chapter. This chapter is that chapter, in a sense. So basically there's a bunch of enemies kind of running around, and if you enter their enemy range, if you're in their enemy range at the start of enemy phase, then they summon a bazillion reinforcements that, in the context of the speedrun, waste a bunch of time. And you don't want that to happen. So Shura's going to be very nice here because he has very high movements. And he can also open doors, naturally. And technically speaking, I could have Corrin open doors instead. But I really want Corrin. It's important to have Corrin move as far as possible instead of opening doors. So yeah, Shura actually has a skill called +1 movements. And in addition to his pair-up from Camilla, he actually gets +2 movements. So he actually has the movement of a mounted unit right now, which is 8 move. So it's very nice. My record for this run, I think it's like 43, something like that. I don't remember off the top of my head. But like, people don't really run Fire Emblem Fates, even though it's technically a record. Alright, so the boss is up here. We're gonna try to kill her on enemy face. There we go. She dead. Skill, speed, defense. I mean, I can't really ask for much more than that, honestly. Because she's capped like half her stats already. Alright, chapter 25. I can buy another stat booster right now, actually. I wouldn't in a more serious run, but you know what? Let's do it. I might as well. Because I just got 10k gold.
I'm glad you stopped by.
Let's buy a dragon shield. Rip mom again, indeed. And everything that's not a skill tonic. This chapter is a little bit annoying because basically there's basically this little room that's moving around constantly every turn. And what I need to do is to get to the boss room, I need to unlock all 3 dragon veins. This one, and that one up there. So Corrin's gonna take on the top to kill all the enemies in the middle and then go to the top. Ryoma is gonna go ahead and clean up the bottom area and get the bottom dragon vein. And this chapter is pretty scary because this is where Corrin can face some survivability issues depending on her HP and defense stats. Ryoma can too, but usually he's stacked with healing items. Yeah, I'm just gonna play it safe. Now Camilla's gonna go ahead and grab the middle one here as well. So skill at least. Skill unlock means better hit rates. And capped Corrin. 33 speed. Yeah, look at Corrin's health right there. And this is me playing it safe. I'm gonna deposit that. Grab another vulnerary. Should be enough. And Xander gets a level, but we're not really using him for combat, so never mind that. That's the last dragon vein, so now we can go to the right side of the map. I'm gonna heal you, which is where the boss is. Whoop. I'll grab a concoction just to be safe. Let's see how much. Okay, Ryoma's almost dead, so I really should heal him. What's the max range? Okay, that's the max range, so I want Ryoma to hit level 15 at the end of this chapter, which is why I'm trying to beat him more kills right now. And there we go, sword fair. Ryoma now does +5 damage with swords. Now I'm just gonna run away with him before he dies. Gets swarmed. And there's the boss. It's the Hoshiden King. Ryoma. We just killed Ryoma's dad. Rip dad. Alright, I'm gonna... I should... How many healing items do I have? I've used a lot in this run. Vulnerary. Function elixir. I'm gonna grab a few extra, I think.
Oh, it's you. Come again.
That should be good. So in this chapter, this is the defeat boss chapter, and spoiler alert, the buddy guy who we've been buddy buddies with all day, this entire run for the past 30, 40, 50 minutes, it betrays us because he's kind of possessed or whatever. So we can't actually use him as a parabot in this chapter because we have to beat him. So we're gonna use Xander as our parabot instead because Xander gives decent bonuses and +1 move. And this is where the route can be improved, because I'm going to use a Steel Shuriken, the Sting Shuriken, on Gunter, because the Sting Shuriken is effective on Gunter as a Great Knight. But unfortunately, I'm like 2 strengths short of reliably 2-hit KOing him. So I have to get a crit or a Dragon Fang on him to kill one round him. Unfortunately, I did not get it, so I'm going to lose a turn. But you can consistently finish him off the turn after. So it's a lot better than like the older strat, where you just kind of YOLO with a... what is it? A non-effective weapon. Okay. Chapter 27. This is the last chapter in the run. Well, chapter 27 and then is the last chapter, but you can't save in between. So the end game will be coming up. The time where will be coming up soon. And we also got Gunter back, so yay. Okay, let's use up all these tonics. Skill tonic doesn't matter because I don't need a crit or anything like that. I'm activating this Dragon Vein primarily just so I can recover a bit of health at the start of the next turn, because Corn can die kind of easily. Yeah. I should be 20. No, I can't attack, otherwise I can die. So I'm just gonna wait. Oh, okay. I got lucky there. I got a crit, I think. Nice. Alright, so the last chapter's coming up, and the most important unit in the game is coming up. Who here is a fan of justice? Who here is a fan for justice? Because we're about to hear some justice. Then Ryoma. For justice! Do we have healing items? I forgot to give Ryoma healing items. Good thing I caught that before starting. I'll take Elixir Concoction. Let's do it. Let's do this. For justice! Okay, so Arthur is my pair up for Ryoma, because Arthur gives, I believe, +4 attack, +2 speed, which is massive. Even without a support bonus. So here's the second and last use of the rescue staff to bring Corrin all the way up here to attack the left arm. To attack the boss's head, you have to take out the 2 arms first. And this is why having high defense and HP is really nice. Because if I can't take 2 hits from the hand here reliably, then Corrin has a pretty significant chance of dying. But she can take both hits. Unfortunately, she did not get a crit or Dragon Fang. So that is unfortunate. And Ryoma, for him to survive, he has to dodge this 32% chance. And then he has to dodge one of a 32% chance or a 50% chance. And of course Ryoma misses. Okay, good. We should be good for now. Crit! Unfortunately, Ryoma missed once. Rest in peace, Azura. I'm playing at the animations for fun, FYI. Ooh. Okay. I shouldn't die because I have a dual guard gauge, like my guard gauge filled. And there's only one enemy in range.
You're no match for us!
You're no match for us! Of course he gets hit. Oh well. Crit! Okay, as long as Ryoma doesn't miss the second hit, this should be it for the other arm. There we go. Ooh, that health. Alright, so I'm gonna go with the Barb Shuriken here, because I can't attack at one range, so I might as well use the Barb Shuriken, which is basically a killing edge. It has very high crit rates and does ×4 damage with the crit. Although because of how this boss's skill, that damage from the actual crit is only ×2, because this boss has a skill where it halves damage from extra skills, crits, and such, which is kind of annoying. Okay, Chocolate Concoction. So I'm gonna hope for a crit here, just because it helps out a lot. Of course I get hit. There's a Dragon Fang. I can get a Dragon Fang crit. Ah, no. Bummer.
Never.
They can stack. Good level. Rest in peace, Shura. Okay, Corner, don't die. Can I finish you with Ryoma? Okay, maybe let's not go for that. I'm gonna just camp out here, grab a concoction, and heal up. Play it safe. This boss can be very dangerous, so like and for marathon purposes, I'm gonna play it safe. Dragon Fang. Like, Corrin has gotten hit every time, which kind of sucks. So like I have not really had any safe opportunities to manually attack. So that is the game, except debated. Never mind. There's another form. 2020, 18. I can't attack at all. Period. Which is annoying because this boss actually does not attack you on enemy phase on the first turn it's revealed. But I took so much damage that I can't actually take that risk. I can attack with Ryoma though and help out. It's team up time! Nice dodge. Oh, Ryoma can't double the boss. Dang it. Oh no. Okay, I was wrong. The boss does not attack you on a turn it's revealed. But it was revealed on enemy phase, so it does still attack me. Nice level, Gunter. I just go for it. I could. 2024. Nah, I'm not gonna go for it. I need to heal again. I'm just gonna run away because I want the boss to attack Corrin. This is honestly really unlucky. You really want Corrin to like dodge once or twice, and again, she didn't dodge this time. Although it is a 77. Alright, I should be able to just finish you off. Yep, so time is gonna come up.
We will not fail.
Finish it off with swag. 8% crit. Time is now.
GG.
GG. Well, that last chapter couldn't have gone. Wasn't very good, even though I played it safe. But you know,
In the name of the
that's
first
life.
dragons, I, Xander, speaking for the kingdom
Well, there's
of
Fire
Nor,
Emblem Fates Revelation.
and I, Ryoma,
Yep, you got
Speaking for
57-49.
Underestimate. Even though I wasted so much
Bound
time
to
talking,
keep peace
playing around, but hey,
between us.
it's all in good fun.
That's underestimate bike, so it's all 10 minutes. It's pretty good.
We shall all be bound.
Yeah, I think my record is like around 42, 43 or something. I wasted a lot of time like showing off a few things or explaining some maps. I wanted to try to go fast, but also go slower to help people understand the run a bit more. And this is my first time showcasing this game in such a matter. So I know I talk fast, but in this game it's hard to keep up with at times, or most of the time, because it's a black screen. So I'd like to improve on that a lot.
Prioritizing entertainment over
I know.
speed, sir?
but
Excuse
I
healing
know, right? Gosh.
can only begin with trust.
But yeah.
How dare you?
Yeah. We swear to our
But yeah.
people, to
It's
our
kind of a fun speedrun. There can be some frustrations if you're trying to run it seriously, because you really need speed early on, or else you lose so much time in early game. But
together forever.
yeah. The Conquest speedrun is roughly the same speed as Revelation. Birthright is like around 30 minutes, 35 minutes. Because Birthright is just a much simpler game overall. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Alright, so that's it. That's Fire Emblem Fates. And again, congratulations on hitting $4,000. And thanks for having me over to run both this game and Sonic Advance DS the other day. So good luck with the rest of the marathon.
We swear to you.
Oh, Sonic Advance DS? I can't wait to play that game. When's it coming out?
On the DS.
Oh my god. Alright, stick around, folks. We're going to be shifting focus here. We got a new restrainer taking over for the next shift. So stick around. We will be back with Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past 100%.